to the Mid-Ohio Sports Car Course. It's been a beautiful day here in Mid-Ohio. We're high in the hills and the rolling hills of the farm country of Ohio. It's absolutely gorgeous, and we are getting ready for some more SpeedTour SVRA action. Live here. I just had qualifying for Trans Am. They are heading back into their pits, and we've got some great excitement to come from TA2 tomorrow. So join us for the day when we have another full day of the SpeedTour here from the Vintage Grand Prix of Mid-Ohio at the Mid-Ohio Sports Car Course. It's a really, really great course that's steeped in history. IndyCar come here, NASCAR come here, Xfinity come here, and it's great to have Trans Am here as well as SVRA. We've got a few Trans Am cars coming up in this one too, including one of the great stock car drivers of the country, or in the history of NASCAR, in Front Row Joe, as well as this man, Scott Borchetta, who will be driving in the number 48, his fabled number now. And Borchetta is on great form here at Mid-Ohio, always seems to go well here. Looking forward to seeing who can beat the likes of PJ Hyatt. So they'll come through the pit lane and everybody filing out in order, and we've got what? Probably a good field of about 12, 13 different cars. We've got Toyotas, Mustangs, Porsches. We've even got PJ Hyatt, who is in that Porsche GT3R, who will be in IGT action and had a great run earlier today. And like I said, you've got Front Row Joe out there, the second most well, I wouldn't say established, but has done as many races, second to Tom Petty. I think Kevin Harvick has now beaten that record, but that's not a bad record, and high capacity there to be in that rarefied air of Mr. Petty and Mr. Harvick. But Joe Nemechek still going strong after all these years, and he will be racing in a Camry, in an all-black Camry. Got a quick glimpse of it as they go through the Big Machine Bocker Spike Coolers keyhole, just in the distance there, and here they come. And Joe is in that number 8. There you see the Toyota. I'll be joined in a moment by the one and only Ben Sissel, or Ben Sissel as he's known to his friends. Getting a bit of a tan on. He needs to put some cream on, does Ben Sissel. He's been out there too much. But he will be getting ready for Group 10. I know he enjoys this one. Colin Cohen, also in a Ferrari 458. So we've got a real smorgasbord of American and European cars, modern and somewhat less so, but still, it's going to be a competitive field, this Group 10, and always amazes me how they group them together. But Ben's far more of an authority on that sort of thing than I am, so I will turn to my learned friend and ask him.
It is really. Check there. Model. Check last. T8. A turnabout the.
And that's what makes it fair. It's all about parity, yeah.
But we're.
He's got some competition as Borchetta, isn't he?
Doing. Turn 2.
So here we go then, and So, Joe Nemechek leading the way, front row Joe, leading the way from Scott Borchetta, Todd in third, Haynes and Cloud. We apologise, we missed out for a lap or so there, but you haven't missed anything, and you have been following the action. Me and Ben are back and with you, and I'll let Ben give us a little bit of an intro as to the parity that we're seeing and getting, actually. Pretty close indeed. But Nemechek, you were saying, really enjoying every moment. He's done so much racing in his time.
Yeah, he was with us just last weekend at Indy, and is with us, and just said he's having more fun than he thinks. Todd, the car, and the cool thing about this group car, especially after this, these stock cars are very inexpensive. Go racing, and it may be one of the most fun groups to race in. It's probably our fastest growing group, with Carlos Gann and Scott Hawley doing a really good job of promoting it through all the vintage race series. So they do a few races with us, they do a few races with the other series that are just fantastic. So that is always fun. But there's my dad joke right there. Why is 6 afraid of 7? Because 7, 8, 9. Timothy Haynes in that Porsche Cup car. So that Porsche Cup car, he's now in the twisty bits, which gives him the advantage over these big, heavy 3,800-pound stock cars. But then they have the straightaway. So they're pretty equally yoked here at Mid-Ohio.
Cloud in 5th place at the moment. John Cloud.
No, that's Debbie Cloud.
That's Debbie Cloud, of course.
Yeah,
Sorry,
and
John Cloud further
welcome
back.
Debbie Cloud. You missed out. We did some trivia last night. She's the trivia queen. But there she is. In her, she loves Carl Edwards. So that's her and her.
Did she win?
Her Affleck. No, she missed out. That's what I'm saying. She's going to have to join us next time.
You don't know quick. That's what it says on her side of her car.
Yeah. From Medina, Ohio, thereabouts. Is this Smokey there somewhere?
Smokey Joe? No, it's front row Joe. But you're right, I did see it, but it does look a bit cloudy, didn't it? Coming into turn 1.
As we're talking about Debbie Cloud and the Mission Foods turn 1. Oh, there's a car off to the side there.
That's why.
And this is her home track.
A lot of cloud cover out there today.
Yeah, and there's John Cloud, 2 behind her, behind that Camaro, in the blue Camaro.
Well, they are expecting storms tomorrow, but I didn't expect this many clouds this afternoon.
Yeah, that's right. And between them is Larry Hoopa, who was also with us at Indy in a different car. That car looks like a long-nosed Camaro. And this is Ron Thomas. Number 91 there in that Porsche Cup car.
I got to think that for we've got full course safety car out for the track. I think that's at turn 1 that the problem was. We've got a car, a recovery truck on track as we look at the 53 of Hoopa. And sure enough, confirmation of the caution.
And ladies and gentlemen, if you're joining us on Speed YouTube, I have not done my due diligence
there you go.
With Larry. So that's Todd, right? That's Willie Todd in Group 10, Stock Car 4. But maybe some of the sports car fans out there can tell us what kind of car Larry Hoopa is in, that number 53. I'm not familiar with that car, but it looks like kind of like almost like a funny car. Road racer with that long hood of a Camaro.
But I don't think the people of Chevrolet Camaro would be very happy with you. That's what it says on my thing, my sheet right here.
It is a Chevy Camaro, but I don't think any part of that car came out of the Chevy factory.
Ah, okay.
See that, and see how it.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
It looks like it's It looks like it's made for oval because it's just kind of offset there a little bit.
Yeah, slightly offset. Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
But it's cool. I love having it here.
I'll take it.
And I haven't. Larry, to my knowledge, he's driven 4 different stock cars with us this year.
I tell you what, I'm glad to see that we're getting more and more in SVRA older stock cars that want to get out there and race. Because as Kerry Hitt was telling me earlier, there's a bunch out there that could really quite easily race and could actually be competitive in TA as well.
Yeah. I'm really. Slutes from Canton, Ohio, I believe, has the A.J. Foyt-looking Copenhagen car from kind of my era of stock cars. Scott Borchetta has brought out that Marty Robbins Mountain Dew Darrell Waltrip car. So I love that era of stock cars. But there's John Cloud. ahead in that yellow TA2 car, but front row Joe Nemechek. And the cool thing about running these stock cars is a lot of the stock car racers that have retired have now talked to the Bill Elliott's and the Joe Nemecheks of the world, who have told them this is a lot of fun, and now they're going to start getting their cars out of the mothballs and come race with us.
And don't we have the original Shake and Bake?
Pat Womack has a Ricky Bobby car, as I can't remember his name. He was with us. He actually has the Fig Newton's decal on his windshield, which I find very funny. And then I just saw on Facebook somebody is restoring the Cole Trickle car from Days of Thunder.
Oh, cool. Days of Thunder. Come on, bring it on.
That's, a lot of people in the stock car world kind of poo-poo on that movie, but that's the movie that got me into racing. That is like my first kind of foray into racing.
Bit of a Tom Cruise, man?
8th grade. I love Tom Cruise, yeah, but I just thought that was a good movie. 8th grade Ben watched that movie in the theater, and then that's what made me start to watch NASCAR.
Yep. Fair enough.
So checkered flag. We're going to have to end this.
That's a shame. Well, it's not a shame for Joe Nemechek, though. He'll be happy with that.
Yeah, I know that Joe Nemechek is collecting all the medals and trophies from these races. I've been to Scott Borchetta's shop, and he has had.
Oh, that's amazing.
They are proudly displayed in his front entry of his shop. So, vintage racing, it still means a lot to these drivers.
So, unfortunately, we finished under caution, but that was because of the car that's parked up that had also thrown some debris and dirt. It looked like a bit of oil down on track, so they'll clear that up. We've still got a few more races left today. Ben Sissel and Jonathan Green, we apologize for the slight technical gremlins we had, but we're back with you, and we will be bringing you all the action. And there he is. Front row Joe gives us the sign. Wave to the crowd and the marshals.
And one cool thing about if you come to one of these events, we're at the Mid-Ohio Vintage Grand Prix, you can sign up to ride in the pace car. So we just had a shot there of James in that Honda Civic pace car with passengers
sign, it doesn't cost anything.
Yeah, no, just tell us you're interested, and we're going to put you in the pace car
all
if
right,
we can.
Eric, if you're listening, chance to get in the pace car, call up. Answers on a postcard. If you're in the Ohio area. Or Illinois, Michigan, whichever.
So we're in Indianapolis and with an all vintage. We're in a mixed Trans Am FR F4 vintage this weekend. Next weekend we go to Road America for Trans Am with NASCAR. Living the dream.
Absolutely. Road America next week, and we do. I mean, that's what I love about what Tony Perella's set up here is the iconic circuits. I mean, Watkins Glen,
VIR, Circuit of the Americas, your home track. But, there's something about Mid-Ohio. When I release the schedule every year and say, give us your top 5, Mid-Ohio is almost always in the top 5.
You set off a fireball here. I've got people calling in from all over the world. How do I call in for my pace car ride? So you'll have to put your personal phone number out there, Ben. No, here's the result. Before you give that out, Joe Nemechek, Scott Borchetta, Timothy Haynes, Debbie Cloud on Cloud 9 because she was ahead of John Cloud, her husband, Larry Hoopo in 5th place, John Cloud in 6th place, and Storm's coming tomorrow, but the Clouds on top of things today. Ron Thomas 7th, Brian Pritchard 8th, Scott Dolphy in 9th, and PJ Hyatt in 10th position. So who do they call then? Get their pace car right.
Actually, you show up to the tracks, you go to our grid, and Tom, our grid person, will set it up.
Tom. Okay. All right, well, we'll take a short break here from Mid-Ohio. Sun coming out again. Stay with us. More SVRA action coming from the Speed Tour after this.
Hungry for SVRA action? Well, the best way to enjoy classic auto racing is with a delicious classic from Mission Foods. Green flag your race-watching snacks with Mission's mouth-watering race day recipes. Try some of our tasty tacos, piled high nachos, fresh chips with guac, and more. So gear up your ride and fuel up those stomachs with delicious Mission Foods. Now that's too fast, too tasty.
One of the main reasons for poor vehicle performance is a dirty fuel system. It can cause decreased fuel economy and actually do harm to your engine over time. By adding Lucas Fuel Treatment to your vehicle, it cleans and lubricates the entire fuel system. Pump, carburetors, fuel injectors, and valves as you drive. It also improves your vehicle's performance. It's a non-solvent product designed to protect both gasoline and diesel engines. Lucas Fuel Treatment. It works.
Welcome back to probably our most favorite group of all of our fans, the Group 6 12A. Here we've got Scott Borchetta in now the famous Vintage Racing Corvette. He's wearing a number 1 because he is our current Group 6 champion for many years, actually, in SVRA. So there's Scott Borchetta running in 3 different classes with us this weekend. But look at the paintwork as it shines off of the sunlight here at Mid-Ohio. Then we've got John DeGainer right here. He actually gave the start command with his group Stone Ridge here, but let's talk to his dad. This was his dad's car, so tell us a little bit about this Devon.
Well, until he got big enough and he took it over, and now he's doing a better job than I am. And it's good to really watch him run as hard as he is today and as well as he is.
So the student has become the master.
Well, we won't take it that far yet. But
awesome. So these loud cars are firing up like Borger and the 969, but it's about to get loud, Jonathan, so I'm sending this back to you.
Great stuff, Ben, as always. Yeah, you can't really compete with the roar of a Corvette. And the 969 heads into action as our Group 6 and Group 12, Race 1, head down for their pre-grid and get onto the track for some action. Ben will come back over here, I'm sure, to join me, I hope. And we'll get underway as the Honda Civic leads the crew out. Scott Borchetta, as always, lead them away. What a busy schedule this man has. He knows no bounds. But I'll tell you what, any racing driver in the world will tell you there is no substitute for track time. As always, an eclectic group from the late 60s to a Panos from 2000. A Chevrolet Corvette from 1963. And Borchetta's 69 Chevrolet Corvette you're seeing weaving in the classic colors there, the purple and white. He was telling me about that paint scheme, which originally came from Germany. I'll ask Ben when he gets here. But that car actually raced back in the late 60s in Germany, I believe. And there's another cracker. Look at that. There's 26 of Rick Ortman in a 1988 Chevrolet Corvette, the red. Looking down the back straight, that left kink, as they call it, turn 3, where the Trans Am cars start off from. It's also a good view of turn 1 and how that curves. And it's a much wider curve than it looks. So as the sun starts to go down here in Mid-Ohio, it's perfect time. Temperature just drifting down a little bit from the peak of the day. And you can see the lakes and rivers in the background and the beautiful rolling hills of Mid-Ohio. Farm country we're in this weekend. Big race community, though, coming from Cleveland, Chicago, Columbus, you name it, Canton. And as you've heard all over the day, plenty of racers from the area making it their home, from David Pintarek, who got a podium today, Amy Ruman, a top 6 finish, having started at the back. She, too, is an Ohio native. Buckeye boys, Buckeye girls. Scott Borchetta, of course, from Nashville, Tennessee, and will be headed his way in August for some Trans Am action as he hosts the IndyCar and Trans Am weekend. So 2x2, they get ready to go racing. And we are green and good to go here. Away they go, Scott Borchetta on the right-hand side. Jonathan DeGamore alongside him, slots into second place. That's the 98 of Craig Hillis in what, fourth position, just behind Michael Orija, and who now looks as though he's vying for second place, and he is, goes into second, into the keyhole. Nicely done. So Corvettes 1 and 2 now, as DeGaynor drops to third in that Devon Evolution. A bit more lightweight than the two cars in front, but he's certainly holding his own down the back straight.
Yeah, if I remember correctly, I think Scott's in a small block, 350 Chevy. Origer, I think, is in a 358. I talked to Stuart Black before this, and I think DeGaynor's car is 7 as we look there at the number 23 of John Cloud in that beautiful Boss 302.
Busy Boyd.
Yeah, followed by J.P. Griffith in that 9B Corvette. But this is the battle. Great battles. They were with us at Laguna Seca and Sonoma this year, and they're pretty equally yoked cars there. Look at them slide that thing through Mid-Ohio Sports Car Course.
You know, every time I watch Scott in this particular car, I think he's having the most fun in this car. He drives about 6 cars of a weekend.
Yeah, it's a beautifully prepared car. We saw it in this livery, the livery that it raced in Europe back in the day.
I just mentioned that, yeah, it was it?
And I tried to show it at the grid. Cameras do not do it justice how well it pops, but I love the 4 headlights there of Michael Origer's Corvette.
Looks like a Lancia from the rally days.
That is tough to drive fast. That keyhole with such power like that. It's really fun to watch these cars slide. It is hot out there. The track temperatures are hot. Everybody's talking about Mid-Ohio low grip. It's been low grip for years, so it is really tough to wheel these cars around. So look for DeGaynor with a little bit lighter, a little bit more nimble car to stay with these big, heavy Corvettes.
That's a beautifully prepared car, too, as you got a close-up look of it. Dad giving us the lowdown. He wasn't prepared to hand the mantle over completely, was he?
No, and John, I know John from racing a different Devon. It's just recently that he's taken over his dad's Devon, and I got to give it up for him too. He was so excited. One of his employees is who threw the green flag for this race.
Oh, cool. And you said 200, and they're within earshot, right?
Yep. Yeah, they are just in Lexington, Ohio, just about a mile and a half away.
Yep, drove through it this morning. Went to the Nickel and Bee in Lexington this morning. Shout out to them for a good breakfast sandwich and coffee.
Nice. That is the number 98 of Craig Hillis. He was with us last weekend at Indy. Porsche 968. We don't see too many Porsche 968s running with us.
No, you don't.
Look at the hood come up under speed. See that?
Yeah, I saw that. It was great having Kerry Hitt to describe what was going on with Tommy Derisi in the Trans Am race, because his hood was doing the Hamilton porpoise.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you're right. You don't see too many of those, do you?
No.
At least in race trim, you see plenty on the road.
And there's Don Henry in his little red Corvette. Beautiful car.
A prince among men.
Yes. Listen to the sounds of these big American V8s.
That's half the reason a lot of people tune in from around the world, is just to hear muscle cars. Wherever I go around the world, whether it's Japan, Australia, New Zealand, and of course Europe, they just love American muscle cars.
Yeah, they do sound good. And from miles away, they sound good. You can see them just really fighting for grip and leaning into the corners.
Just looking at that 1A of Don Henry, that Roadster from 1969, currently in 5th. just ahead of Davidson in the 22. In the Panos, we haven't seen that yet. That's a quite modern Panos GTS.
There he is.
As if by magic.
Yeah. Alan Davison from FPEC, which is Food Processing Equipment Company. If you've ever eaten a chicken nugget, it probably came from his machinery.
Yep.
Beautiful Panos.
And not as, it looks like a thinner version of the Panos we're used to seeing racing, right?
Yeah.
Like
and he's been campaigning this with us for quite a while, but he also drives an IROC car, and he is who sponsors Dylan Archer in the TA2
I was about to say, that is emblazoned on the side of his car, and if it wasn't for bad luck, he wouldn't have any at the moment. 2 engine changes in 2 race weekends, but he's back out there for tomorrow, glad to say. But I have to say, this is my favorite car of this group. I love it. Silver and a touch of red, and it just oozes speed, doesn't it?
Yeah, I love those the Stingray era Corvettes. That's J.P. Griffith fighting John Cloud there.
Yeah, they've got a good battle going on between these two, and it's, 4 laps in, they're still going. I like the dainty BP on the side, very, very nice. Cloud's right there, isn't he?
Yeah.
He's getting cloud cover, you could say.
Yeah, and he's had a lot of laps today as well.
Yes, yeah. Talking of weather, we are expecting potentially some storms tomorrow, but the way we've worked it out, we're expecting them in the morning and in the late afternoon, so we may get lucky. I was surprised to see hay bales all rolled up in the distance there, but
Yeah.
I've been dutifully told that this is the first of 3 cuts in this part of the world.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I learn something every day.
Yeah. Look at that car slide through Optima Batteries carousel. Just trying to find grip. This is John Cloud's home track. He's been racing here for many years from near Medina, Ohio. And then this is Rick Ortman. He was our Group 12 champion from a few years ago. You can see, looks like he's had to put some duct tape on the hood of that Corvette to keep it from flying around.
Not the prettiest of eras for the Corvette in the 80s, was it? But compared to what the modern day one is and what the older ones are.
Or the J.P. Griffith, but I still love it. You know, there's just something about Corvettes. I love the Corvettes as he comes around. Big machine vodka spike cooler keyhole turn. He had a great race with us last weekend, of all things with a Miata.
All right.
And they had a fantastic race at Indy.
Well, Scott Borchetta, you're not watching him right now. That's because he's way out front, pulling away out front. He's got, a 3.5 second lead over Origa, and DeGainer still third, though. But he's dropped off now. This is our Group 6 and Group 12A feature race 1. They get at least 2 races a weekend and plenty of practice. But so, Ben, that's the real attraction for these guys, isn't it? Track time, really.
Yeah, I think it's the track time, the iconic historic tracks that we visit throughout the year, and then just the camaraderie in the paddock. There's George
the 63,
Wright.
George Wright in the 63 Corvette, and again, another pretty car.
I actually prefer the 63s with that split window, the split rear window.
Yep.
The only year they made those, and I just love the look of it.
Yeah, very distinctive. Coming down through Thunder Valley, and about a lap to go now in this first feature race.
Uh-oh, our Porsche 968 of Craig Hillis has come into the pits with 1 lap to go.
Oh. Well, let's hope that's because out of caution rather than anything else, because we want to see him again. Oop, a little lockup coming into the carousel. No harm, no foul. And I also like the exhaust, don't you?
Yeah, that side exhaust.
Yeah, that's kind of cool. They should have stuck with that. They should have had, the 4-way they have now. White flag is out. They should have had 2 at the back and then 2 sides. That's what modern Corvette should have. Just saying. Final lap then. Scott Borchetta.
All right. There's our leader.
He's almost lapping the field. Look at this.
As Scott Borchetta goes around, big machine vodka spike coolers keyhole turn.
He likes that turn. That's his favorite turn.
That car just always looks really well balanced.
Yeah. And it's Scott who pushes it out of shape, if anybody. Scott doing a great job, he and his company and his brother making some sanitizing lotion out of the vodka distillery during COVID. So shout out to him, giving everybody in the paddock free hand lotion.
Hand sanitizer.
Hand sanitizer, yeah. Didn't taste too good when he drank it, though.
Yeah.
Kept thinking it was vodka.
Look, he's still, even though with this big lead, he's still hitting all of his marks, using all of the track, because he's also using this time as track time to set himself up for tomorrow's TA2 race.
Yep. Yeah, ever the perfectionist as he was and is in the music industry. Made his fortune there and then turned to his passion of racing. Great story. If you ever want to be inspired, look up Scott Borchetta.
Yeah, grew up racing BMX bikes, so he's always been a racer.
Yep. And he's also a big Unser fan. And we've got little Al in the paddock. But of course, Johnny Lightning was his inspiration.
Yeah. Thumbs up to the corner workers from our Group 6 champion, Scott Borchetta.
As he comes past his own side, Spike Coolers. And a wave also from the 969.
Mike Origer waving to the starters.
And there's Jonathan DeGainer in third place. He held on, but he was a little bit further back than...
Well, he had a spin.
Yes.
He had a spin and continue earlier on in the race.
Fair enough.
Oh, he's turning the lights on and off. I like that.
So that concludes our Group 6 and Group 12A coverage. Well done to Scott Borchetta. He can put the stereo on now and whistle his way home. And he'll be in action again. He's qualified really well here in TA2, I may add. Having a big weekend here. This is the best I've seen him qualify, to be honest, all season. So really looking forward to seeing what Scott Borchetta can do with the big boys of TA2 tomorrow. Thanks to Ben Sissel again. He'll be back for IGT and hopefully can drag Ken Fengler with him. Got a little bit of a break until then. We'll be back with all the action from IGT very soon indeed. But the Speed Tour continues here at Mid-Ohio. And it's starting to cool down a little bit here. Confirmation of the results then. Scott Borchetta with the win. Michael Origer in the 969 Corvette takes second. Jonathan DeGainer takes third. Don Henry takes fourth place. Alan Davison fifth. JP Griffith in sixth place. John Cloud seventh. Rick Ortman in eighth position. George Wright in ninth. And Craig Hillis rounds out the top 10. All right, we'll take a short break here from Mid-Ohio. Join us for more from the Speed Tour at the Vintage Grand Prix of Mid-Ohio after this.
There is less than 1/100th of an inch of motor oil protecting your car's engine. Friction and heat causes engine oil to experience thermal breakdown, weakening its ability to protect the engine and its parts. Lucas Heavy Duty Oil Stabilizer is specially formulated to resist thermal breakdown, protect vital engine parts, and extend the life of your engine. It also stops smoking, knocking, and oil consumption in worn engines. Lucas Heavy Duty Oil Stabilizer. Keep that engine alive.
Keeping your pride and joy perfect is as easy as 1, 2, 3. Start with Slick Mist Speed Wax. Simply mist on and wipe off for a professional detailer shine. For your tires and trim, there's Lucas Slick Mist Tire and Trim Shine. Spray on and wipe off for better than new look. Then finish her with Lucas Slick Mist Interior Detailer. Just spray and wipe. Easy. Use Lucas Slick Mist Car Care products and she'll never look better. Fast, easy, and professional. Really, it's sort of like having an extra set of hands. Or 3.
Hungry for SVRA action? Well, the best way to enjoy classic auto racing is with a delicious classic from Mission Foods. Green flag your race-watching snacks with Mission's mouth-watering race day recipes. Try some of our tasty tacos, piled high nachos, fresh chips with guac, and more. So gear up your ride and fuel up those stomachs with delicious Mission Foods. Now that's too fast, too tasty.
You see, they shouldn't play adverts like that at this time of the day, Ben Sissel, because I'm tempted for my Mission Foods right there.
Every day is Taco Tuesday for me.
Yeah.
I could do Mexican food.
Anyway, the food and the feast at hand is this. Because here we go again. As the all-green mean machine, the Porsche of Mr. Pank, is ready to go IGT racing. He did it in style last time, and he's planning to do it again here in the second race of the day for International GT. And we'll be on board with Tom Pank.
Looks like the Fixie Wheels camera is in Tom Pank for this one, but the one I'm interested in is the starting second, PJ Hyatt. Had a really good showing in today's first race. He went out with our Group 10 in SVRA. This is his first weekend with International GT, and I really think this car right here that we're looking at, the number 80, is going to give Tom Pank a run for his money this race.
Am I right in saying, because Gunnar Jeanette is down as his teammate, Gunnar will only do the endurance race?
I think.
Because I know Gunnar. Gunnar does a lot of historic racing, as you well know.
Yeah.
Based in Florida. Saw him in Monaco, of all places, just to drop a name. But, yeah, very, very good peddler.
There's Todd Sloan, Ohio player. Speaking of Monaco, you became quite famous with the Leclerc car.
I know.
The call at Monaco with Leclerc. Nice job, Jonathan.
I know, and I went back. Me and Alex Brundle went back and looked over the YouTube to make sure that we didn't say, we didn't put him into the graveyard of history saying something wrong. But I was in the middle of waxing rhapsodic about how wonderful it was for him to be in the. Oh,
yeah, no, that was awesome. That was so cool. That was Lucas Pank there in that 2010 Porsche GT3 Cup car, the green, at 3.8 liter. There are different classes in this International GT race. So there is the number 72 4-liter class of Steve Hammond, but we've got 3.8, we've got 3.6, we've got 4-liter, we've got 4i. That means 4-liter improved, the car that we're looking at right now. Improved. What was your question?
Well, just how much difference is there between the 3.6 to the 4. Improved?
I don't know, because there is a little bit of a nimbleness difference. So Mid-Ohio, it doesn't seem to show such a huge difference because Jody Miller in the same car in a 3.8 was able to keep up with his car, the same car in a 4-liter.
So it's not a spec derivation.
But at Coda or Sebring, it might be a bigger difference because there's just a little bit more high-end. Road America, I think, would be a big difference. But it's just a displacement thing.
Yeah. Mainly Porsches. We do have, which is of course the Stuttgart Cup, but we do have the Maranello Cup too. We've got several Ferraris out there as well. Not that many, about 4.
Yeah, and I believe there was a Maserati in the last one.
Might well
Should be
right.
Chris Coffey and Colin Cohen running the 97 Maserati, number 97 in the exhibition class.
All right.
So there goes David Tuati, Mark Matisse, who had a spin with a little bit of contact there in the last race, but was able to make it back, followed by Ed Baus. But International GT has had some really fantastic races with us this season.
Yeah. As Ken Fengler said, don't jinx them. But yeah, no, it's always good. Great turnout of cars, really good racing drivers who know how to keep it on the grey bar. And great part, and obviously know what they're doing out there.
So watch for PJ Hyatt. I hate to speak out of school here, but I don't think he got it right on the start in the first race.
No, he didn't.
And I really think, honestly, I haven't talked to him about it. I don't think he was expecting it to come from here because maybe he's watched some of the Trans Am races and thought maybe we were starting on the other start stand where Trans Am does. And I think everybody else knew that because that's how we've always done it here. So I think maybe even Gunnar, his coach, told him they'll probably start on the back stretch. So watch for him now to really give a go into Mission Foods Turn 1.
So it'll be about just under 20 minutes racing, and that's enough to get you into the groove.
Look at that. We've got cars coming into Franklin Road Turn 4 as our last car just leaves the pits because this is a full field of 36 massive, cars.
Yeah. I like that shot of the drone. You get to see Turn 1 and the back straight, the kink at 3, and then into the Franklin Road corner at 4. Here we are. I hadn't realized until I went down there yesterday just how cambered Turn 4 is. We saw one of the single-seaters go around the outside, and we also saw in SVRA how that is possible there. I've seen Andretti do it too in Trans Am. So it's an interesting and cunning corner, that. Because, of course, the next is a right-hander. So if you manage to pull it off around the outside, you've got the inside line for the next corner.
Yep. Lights are out on the safety car. Last race of the day.
Yeah, and I was about to say, the one thing that is noticeable about these guys out there is that they were out early this morning. And so, therefore, the track will have changed dramatically, probably, both in rubber, in heat, and in wear and greasiness. Yeah. So we'll see if it catches anybody out as you.
Ooh, look at that red Mini Cooper up there in the distance.
Hey, yeah,
it's another thing I love about these vintage races, the Vintage Grand Prix in Mid-Ohio, is everybody brings out their classics. All right, take it away, Jonathan.
Here we go then. Pank in the blue and green, and alongside the British Racing Green of PJ Hyatt. They're side by side, but the inside line, which isn't the race line, I may add, and away he goes. Pank gets a cracking start yet again. He's done it again. Sloan gets away well. And everybody at the moment looking as though they're safely through that first corner. Nice clean start there as they head down towards the Big Machine Bocker Spike Cooler's keyhole for the first time as we're on board with the fourth place man just behind Sloan. That's Lucas Pank in the 40. First of 11 laps now. And heading towards that kink at 3 now. Flat out in the Porsche. And watch the speed, 140, 150 miles an hour, just clicking at 151. And round the outside goes PJ Hyatt. That was the line I was talking about. Can't quite pull it off.
Yeah, like we talked about in the earlier race, Tom Pank can make his car very, very wide going into Franklin Road Apparel Turn 4.
So good clean start, and the pair at the front pulling away as we go back on board with Pank. Great view this.
Look at the telemetry there, kind of in the middle bottom, that little red ball bouncing around. That's showing you the G's as he's coming up around here.
Coming up towards Thunder Hill, under braking now. Yeah, it's a nice little observation there to watch the G-force. It just shows you. I love it when people tell me that racing cars are adrenaline junkies. It's not the case. They're big sportsmen, and they go under fighter pilot G-force throughout their races and endure it for some time too. Oh, somebody just going off near our commentary position, but luckily just touching a wheel on the dirt and dust. And continues. That's
Ed Bouse hits the wall there on our front straight. Unfortunate. I don't think he was touched. I think that was just
on his own.
Just put the wheel off, and
that brings out a full course yellow. There's one of the Ferraris just in the background there. There it is. Yeah, this championship is hotting up nicely. I was looking at the points earlier, and there's a long way to go yet, but plenty of points up for grabs, and a good championship starting to brew in both the Stuttgart Cup, which is at the moment led by Marcel Fayan and Stephen Hammond. Jody Miller's in there, Mark Mathis, Tom Pank, who of course is leading this one at the moment. He's currently in fourth position. Jimmy Adams.
Well, the Stuttgart Cup is the Caymans.
Yeah.
And then the Mission Foods Porsche GT Cup.
Yeah, and that's
then
Andy
there's the 4R category. There's the 3.8, the 4-liter, the 4i. There's lots of different combinations in there. Then the Caymans of the Stuttgart, and Andy Pilgrim is in a Cayman right now. I think a 4-liter Cayman, which is crazy that I could say 4-liter Caymans. And so it's shaping up. There's all kinds of little championships inside the championships.
Yeah, and then you've got that Maranello Cup that's led by Juan Fayen, John Patrick Mullaney.
There's Berman there in the number 99 car. No, that's Scott Zadinis. Sorry about that. In a 2017 Porsche GT3 Cup car. Now we're back with the Fixie Wheels camera of Tom Pank. And listen to him kind of feathering the throttle. Just kind of hitting it, just kind of trying to keep a little bit of heat in there. And I think he can tell that just by going around that they're probably going to get back to green when they off the wall. And I think P.J. Hyatt's got Tom Pank rattled.
Yeah, notice how he's also pressing the brake there. That's another thing. We always talk about the weaving of the tire, keeping the tire mechanical grip and the heat in the tires for that mechanical grip. But don't forget they're also pushing the brake to make sure they've got brakes and keeping the heat there as well.
So Todd Sloan up ahead of Steve Hammond, followed by David Tuati. This restart, there's Bob Wyson, another Ohio player. But this restart is going to be quite interesting as we look at the Mid-Ohio Homatro safety crew coming out.
Yeah, big field, 36 entries in all. Definitely filling up this Mid-Ohio and roaring round, keeping the crowd on their feet. Down through Thunder Hill, and it probably is Thunder Valley, excuse me, and probably does sound like that.
Yeah, it's a great place to watch. Lots of great vantage points. If you've never been to Mid-Ohio Sports Car Course, you've got to come out to an event here. In fact, next weekend is IndyCar, and I think the weekend after that is NASCAR.
And a shout out to Matthew Brabham. He'll be here again next weekend. Winner, of course, in our TA race. Good job done beating Chris Dyson.
So our pace car driver, you see him, James Rogerson there, making sure that they stay out of the debris, telling all the drivers to follow him, stay out of that debris, let the safety crew clean it up.
Yeah, that's an important signal too, because you really don't know what's on that side of the track, but you can now see the strewn car just up from our commentary position actually. So not what you want to see, but that's what can happen. And I don't know, it's not an easy place to actually extract him, is it really?
No, he's in the kitty litter, the gravel, and I think they're having some problem because these Porsches are low slung, so they're trying to get the right angle on the tow vehicle.
Well, let's hope Sloan has a better race. He had a spin in the first race this morning, gathered it all together, didn't lose too much time, but he won't want to do that again.
This is our Sunoco Race Fuels camera. Stephen Hammond in that number 72, right behind Todd Sloan, currently in 4th position, I believe. You can see now P.J. Hyatt trying to put heat in his tires. Tom Pank is shaking.
You reckon that's intimidation, do you?
I do, yeah.
Well, we might get another lap under caution because they still haven't rectified the situation, and I can just see it out the corner of our commentary box here. And as they come down through Thunder Valley, there's still a lot of work to be done yet. This must be frustrating, having waited all day for the second race and then find it under caution within a lap or so.
Okay, just heard word that one more lap under caution.
Yeah, I think that's all it'll take. They're pretty quick here at Mid-Ohio.
Well, we were talking about Mission Foods earlier.
Yep.
Juan Gonzalez, unfortunately, is not here. But after seeing that commercial, I'm going to have some Mexican food tonight.
So the advertising works. Then.
It works, yeah. Yeah, and I have an Optima battery in my truck, so that worked, right? And here we are at Mission Foods.
Well, I might just have a big machine vodka tonight.
Yeah,
then.
see, there you go. I'm wearing my Omologato watch.
Yeah,
See,
I keep looking in the mailbox. Haven't got it yet.
Oh, man. All you got to do is go talk to Tony Perella or Scott Goodyear. They're going to hook you up.
You reckon?
But then you can't ever say I'm late
Tony.
for
I'll
something.
talk to Scott.
So back on our Sunoco Race Fuels camera with Stephen Hammond as they come into Big Machine Vodka Spike Cooler's keyhole.
You know, I just realized we've got both Al Unser Jr. and Scott Goodyear here. Do you think they go back over and talk about the closest finish in the Indy 500? Scott didn't win.
For sure.
And Al Unser did.
It comes up quite a bit because we were talking about it just a couple days ago. The other day, they were talking to each other. They're good friends. They work with each other. They were standing about 2 feet from each other. And I took a picture like that's about the distance it was, wasn't it? Yeah. And then we were doing a trivia night last night, and Scott Goodyear was one of the things, and I showed a picture of him as a kid, and he autographed it for me with a nasty little note, which is fun.
That's good. Yeah, what a difference a win at the 500 can make. Scott Goodyear, though, we're lucky because he, of course, has now turned to doing race direction, and he is a huge inspiration to the youngsters. We heard from Raoul Hyman earlier this morning about how Scott has been so precious in his education and to all the F4 guys. Ken Bengler has just wandered in as if by magic.
What did I miss? Did the race start yet?
We heard you hadn't come in, so we slowed it down.
Okay.
Everybody is aware that we're under caution just because you weren't here.
All right,
But
good.
you can see
Let's get on with this and have a good race.
He's pulling far ahead, and now it looks like Tom Pank has the field. But look for P.J. Hyatt. He's showing us some speed here, Ken.
Yeah, we'll see where it goes. It's a good cat and mouse and good racing. So hopefully we can run these laps out under green, and away we go.
Back to restart then, and can Hyatt get on board with Pank early on? Pank got away well on the 42, though. Into the first corner and down towards the Big Machine Vodka Spike Cooler's keyhole. And everybody gets line astern. Good start by Sloan, too, in third position in the Mobil 1 car. Pank number 2 in the mix in the midfield. Lucas as in.
There's David Tuati in the orange number 68 as we ride on board the Sunoco Race Fuels of Stephen Hammond coming into Franklin Road Apparel turn 4. Let's see if Stephen can outbrake Todd Sloan. But he's got Tuati his rear in that orange car, followed by Mark Matisse, who goes real deep into turn 4.
Nice.
And Berman gets it over Lucas Pank.
Yeah, that was nice done by Zenith.
Yeah, I keep calling him Berman, but it's Zadinas.
Zadinas,
and
yeah.
I thought it was Zadanis, but it's Zadinas.
Zadinas. Scott Zadinas in the 99 as we go back on board with our leader, Tom Pank.
Now that fixie wheels camera gives us a good view of the speed that they're coming through.
And you know, they haven't got long to get it done here, just over 5 minutes. So if you're going to make a move, it's got to be soon.
Yeah, this is the sprint of sprint races right here. This is probably a 3-lapper left to go, yep. So it's not going to give there's no rhythm about it. It's just get up on the wheel and make it work. So,
it's qualifying laps, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
Mark Mathis trying to make a move here. In the number 77, coming through your shot right now, into turn 1 and down towards the keyhole. Lucas Pank just drifting off in the distance there in the 99. Ahead of him, Zadinas, who made that move earlier on. Pace Saver Technologies getting plenty of coverage with Tom leading the race.
Still a gap, though, between Todd Sloan and Stephen Hammond.
Car, Sunoco Race Fuels in-car camera with Stephen Hammond. Great view.
Yeah, we've got some nice little mini battles going on, haven't we? Here's another one.
And that's Jody Miller in that number 3. And there's Stephen Hammond's dad.
Yep. James.
And Juan Feyen, our first Maranello Cup, right?
Yes, exactly.
And he's leading in that championship one, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. They were gridded, father, son, one, position to position. So.
Well, here's PJ Hyatt. I think the person to watch in International GT. First weekend with International GT, he had a really good second place finish in your first race, and let's see if he has any. Look at the mirrors on that car. But watch the rear wing. On this next shot, I was noticing in that first race, his rear wing looked to vibrate quite a bit.
Lucas Pank putting pressure on the 99 right now as they turn through turn 1. Got good drive as well. Maybe make a dive at the keyhole. Nope, not going to do it this time. Takes a tighter line though, through the keyhole.
Stephen Hammond keeping David Twatty behind him.
And David Twatty doesn't like that. After the race, I did go talk to both of them in the same shot, and you could tell David Twatty does not like getting beat by Stephen Hammond. Especially when he's in the 4-liter improved. Yes. Stephen Hammond's in the 4-liter. There's that beautiful MGM car of Zadinas. Look at that, Lucas Pank, hard on the brakes there, though.
He's right there, isn't he?
What's going to happen here, Ken?
You know what I was saying to the guys earlier? I've done everything perfect to this point in this whole race weekend, as the whole staff has, and hey, it's theirs to keep it that way. So we will see, whatever that may be.
Oh, that's a shift of responsibility.
Isn't
like
it?
I've never seen.
I resume all
if
responsibility.
If it goes wrong now, it's not my fault.
It's not my fault.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You've done all you can do.
That's
now it's
right.
their turn.
That's right.
Well, we're getting down to the nitty-gritty, just 2 minutes to go, and Lucas Pank, he's looked closest at the keyhole after the drive out of this corner. And again, he's about the same as he was last lap, but he didn't make an attempt last time out. He takes a very tight line through the keyhole, does Lucas. As we go on board with Hammond again, as he exits the keyhole.
You can look at him bottom left. He's looking at his mirror more than he's looking through his windshield right now. Because
Right.
David Tuati's right behind him.
Yep.
And there's Mark Matisse, another one of the Ohio players from Put-in Bay. That car just looks sleek.
Yeah, I like the coloring, yeah. Go faster stripes. So we may well see the white flag for Thomas Pank after this.
Look at Tom Pank's hands, though. He doesn't look comfortable. You can see PJ in his mirror, and Tom Pank he doesn't look like the car feels great, or he doesn't look like he's got this on lock right now.
Yeah, he's working it. And he's under pressure, that's why.
Mm-hmm.
Look at this.
And look at the rear wing. Is it me, or does it look like it's kind of shifting back?
Yeah, it is shaking a little, yeah.
It must be that secret Porsche adjustable wing thing, yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
They're taking that to Formula One, I believe, yeah?
Yes, exactly.
Oh, you're saying there's a DRS zone there?
Yeah, exactly. Push to pass.
Rumor has it Porsche will boot. So, a great win then for PJ Hyatt over Tom Pack. Sorry about the gremlin there for a moment, but we got back. And we obviously saw him go over the line, but that's a big one. And as Ken Fengler was saying, that's setting it up nicely because they have an enduro race tomorrow. So it's one apiece because Tom Pack won the first race and now PJ Hyatt has won the second. And they'll be joined potentially by some second drivers, including Gunnar, Jeanette, and that makes things very tasty indeed. So congratulations to PJ Hyatt. He fought well for that one. Just one mistake was all it took. All right, my thanks to Ken Fengler and, of course, Ben Sissel. He'll be back with us tomorrow for more of the action from the Vintage Grand Prix of Mid-Ohio here at the Sports Car Course. I'm Jonathan Green. Join us tomorrow morning, local time, about 9 a.m. when we set it all in action again. FR, F4, SVRA, and Trans Am TA2 action. But from Mid-Ohio tonight, my thanks for you to tune in. We'll be back tomorrow. Join us then.
When the finish line calls, we answer. Hit the road with insurance protection from Hagerty. Whether you drive a built racer, sports car, or exotic, and save an average of $264. Get a quote today at Hagerty.com. When the road calls, we answer. With our guaranteed value, unparalleled service and expertise, and savings of $264 on average, Hagerty has you covered no matter what's around the bend. Get a quote today at Hagerty.com.